Welcome to Hancock's VMware Half Hour. So, welcome back to another episode of Hancock's VMware Half Hour. It's not going to be 30 minutes. We've done a number of these now. Sit back. It's going to be about 10 to 15 minutes. And in this video, we're going to have a little look at patching using a depot file, ESXi 7.03 R Romeo. Here is our ESXi server. Now, if you have a standalone host, you don't have access to the internet, or you have a VMware vCenter server, you're using VLCM, but again, that doesn't have access to the internet, so you can't pull the update down. This video is for you. If, however, there are simpler methods of updating ESXi 7.0 using the dirty method, as I call it, by pulling the update down directly from the internet, which I have done videos on YouTube, and they are available in the description below. But this video is all about using the depot file. Now, I've done a video previously on 6.7. And if we have a little look in the, just as a reminder, on the 4th of March, a critical 0-day vulnerability appeared in ESXi 7.0, 8.0 and 6.7. We've covered already updating 8.0 via the dirty method, OTA. We've already covered 7.0 via OTA, the dirty method. We've covered 6.7 using a depot file. And in this video, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to use 7.0. I'm going to use the depot file available for that. Depot file is VMware-ESXi-7.0 US Sierra 245852991-depot.zip. And as I mentioned in the 6.7 depot file video that I did, for some strange reason, 6.5 and 6.7 don't have the word depot. 7.0 and 8, they both have the word depot file. Again, please don't ask for the depot files. This is not a video about me giving depot files to you. Under the end user license agreement with Broadcom, we are not allowed to distribute software, which obviously includes patches. So that out of the way. Here is our server. I'm logged in via the HTML client. I do apologies, something has gone really wacko with my mouse. I'm not too sure whether or not it's just worn out or whether or not I'm just not pressing the button hard enough. So it is a bit kind of non-responsive. Anyway, so our server's in maintenance mode. I'm now going to carry on. If you've watched these videos before that I've done, you know that I like to have 2 SSH sessions open. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use a VMware-V to show me the build number, which is currently 2441114, which is ESXi 7.0.3 Romeo R for Roger. And I'm going basically to use the ESX CLI command, and I'm going to use the ESX CLI command to look at the profiles that are available in the depot file that I'm going to apply. So again, I'm using the command ESX CLI space software space sources space profile space list -d /VMFS /volumes /data store 1 followed by the depot file name. Now the depot file name has already been uploaded to data store. We've done that via WinSCP, or you can use the data store browser to do that, and it's the same file that's actually basically published here in the Broadcom release notes. If you are entitled to download the file, you will find the file in your Broadcom portal. If you have a support contract and a site ID, VMware-ESXi-7.0U3S-245891-depot. This is exactly the same recipe and method that we've used in 6.7. We're using exactly the same commands. The commands don't differ. The only thing that differs is the file name. So as I mentioned in our 6.7 video that we did, dash standard includes VMware tools. Dash no tools doesn't include VMware tools. So the command again that we're going to use, so the big long command that we're going to use is, and again I will tell you the command that I'm using. Some people have turned around and said that they'd like to know what the command is. They can't see it on the screen. I'm not quite sure whether or not they don't understand my accent, but here we go. ESXi space software space profile space update dash P. Here we actually basically substitute the profile name that we're going to use that's actually contained in the depot file, which is ESXi-7.0U3S-245-85291 standard dash D /VMFS /volumes /data store 1 followed by the depot file name. Now that's just the path to the depot file. We're adding a -- no hardware warning just in case this particular server is hosted here on a home lab that doesn't have supported CPU or hardware. And we're going to add the -- dry run, so no changes are actually going to take place. Now, a number of people have responded to me and said, well, when we type this, it just keeps repeating like I show you above. It just basically just repeats the command usage. The reason that is because you've actually basically got the command line wrong. So make sure that you are actually using the right command. Anyway, so I'm going to hit enter. But before I do that, and those that have watched these videos before know that I love to tail the logs. So we're going to use a tail space -f /var /log ESX update.log, and I can have an eyeball on that as the update is progressing and see whether or not that it's failing or giving any issues. So with that, I'm just going to hit enter and I'm going to wait. I've got no error message actually reported by the command I'm using, and I can see that the update is progressing because it's doing stuff in the update above, and that would appear to have finished. It says message dry run only, host not changed, the following installers will be applied, boot back installer. So all those VIBs will be installed, those VIBs will be removed, those VIBs will be skipped. So I think we're ready to go. And I'm just going to basically now remove the dry run, and I'm going to hit enter, and that is now actually going to be applying physical changes to our ESXi 7.03R host. Now I don't actually have a drink because I've been doing these videos all afternoon, and I've exhausted my squash, and at the moment I am absolutely coping with absolutely raging toothache. If any of you have got any ideas as to how I can actually basically get rid of toothache, then please put a comment in the description. And the obvious ones is, yes, go back to the dentist. Well, I was only actually in the dentist this week on Wednesday for a checkup and everything was fine. And now on Friday, I come away with excruciating pain again in a tooth. And I really hate dentists. Don't tell them that. So I might have to basically put, I'll see, this tooth has caused me problems before, and oddly, after it was fixed, it took 2 weeks to calm down. Then it came back again, and after a couple of weeks it calmed down again. So I might just have to persevere for a couple of weeks, or I've got to go back to the dentist and get it extracted. Anyway, and in fact, actually, I don't think it's just the dentist this time. I think I'm going to have to go to the hospital, because it's a wisdom tooth at the back which is playing up. So that's a little bit more specialized, I'm told. Okay, so let's talk about dentists. Okay, so the update completed successfully, but the system needs to be rebooted so changes to take effect. Okay, that's completely normal. So if we now basically just do a reboot, and I click reboot here, and we wait for that server to spin up again, then we can check to see whether or not that our update, and there we go, that's completely normal. Those two SSH sessions have actually basically been dropped as the server reboots. So tell you what I'm going to do, rather than me waffle on, because as I said, this toothache is really getting the better of me. I might go and get a drink, or I might go and brush my teeth again with some Sensodyne toothpaste, in hope that it fixes it. But I tell you what we'll do. That as I said, these servers do boot very quickly, so I'm wondering whether or not that we're back up and running. It's thinking about it. Okay, so the server's not restarted yet. So I tell you what, I'll just put this on pause and we'll just wait a minute. There we go. You might have noticed there that we actually started the services were starting up. So we now should be able to log in. I'll tell you something. I can actually smell my supper or tea. Lovely. Olives, black olives. Love them. Okay, so let's have a little look and see where we are. Okay, so there we go. Updated ESXi-7-0U3S245-85291 standard. So our server has been updated successfully, as we would have expected. So I'm just basically going to log in via SSH, and I'm just going to run a VMware-V. There we go. So in 10 minutes, we're getting even quicker. In 10 minutes, there you go. That's how you use the depot file to update to VMware ESXi 7.03 build 24585291, which is now version S. 7.03S is the latest, and more importantly, it fixes the critical update published by NHS England, which is going to be no more. But more importantly, fixes VMSA-2025-0004. And just to end, you would typically use this depot file if you don't have access to the internet, or when I say don't have access to the internet, I mean your ESXi host doesn't have access to the internet, or your VMware vCenter server doesn't have access to the internet. If your VMware vCenter server does have access to the internet, you have a license for VMware vCenter server, then please use VLCM. It does all the heavy lifting for you, and that is really the recommended way now in creating a single image for your cluster and remediating that single image against your cluster, because at the same time you can incorporate the OEM edition, the vendor edition of ESXi from Dell, IBM, Lenovo, IBM, Fujitsu, and you can also include the if you have a small contract with your vendor, you can also incorporate the firmware updates as well. It does all the heavy lifting for you, and it's simple. I don't know why more people aren't using VLCM and insist on doing dirty method OTA updates or depot files. As I said, if your VMware vCenter server doesn't have access to the internet, then you can't actually basically pull the updates. And you would need to use this method, the depot method, for 6.7, 8, or 6.5, or 7.0, as we've shown here. But if you do have VMware vCenter server, it has access to the internet, then what are you doing watching this video? I will do, at the end of all these, I will revisit VLCM again to apply patches for 7.0S and 8.0 U3D as well. But as I said, I have covered these before in videos that are available on Hancock's VMware Half Hour, and you can follow exactly the same recipe. All you need to do is just select the right update. Anyway, so with that, I'm going to go and bash mine against the wall because of this raging toothache. So once again, thank you very much for watching another episode of Hancock's VMware Half Hour. If you've enjoyed this video, then please thumbs up. And more importantly, subscribe. If you don't like this video and you hate me talking about things, orange squash, dentists, toothache, and you don't like it, then please thumbs down. And in the meantime, my thanks to you for watching. And again, night is falling here. So once again, good night and goodbye from me. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.